I'm a private investigator. I've got this envelope that says Super Mayor. Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois.
Last month, the judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval from trustees.
In the small village of Dalton, Illinois, an epic political drama is unfolding that feels straight out of a reality show. At the center of it all is none other than the town's mayor, Tiffany Henyard, whose controversial leadership style, questionable decisions, and ongoing legal battles have thrown the town into chaos. You think you've seen it all in politics? Well, get ready, because this story has it all: feuds, courtroom battles, public meltdowns, and even a mayor who's been labeled by some as a dictator.
Hey guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the People's Mayor and People's Supervisor.
So, how did we get here? And why is the entire town of Dalton buzzing about Mayor Henyard? Let's dive into the juicy details that have been making headlines for months. Trust us, this story is wilder than any political thriller you've ever watched. First off, Tiffany Henyard, who made history as Dalton's first female mayor, has been in the spotlight since day one. But it's not her trailblazing leadership that's grabbing attention, it's the sheer amount of controversy she's stirred up. From her questionable appointments of top officials to the lawsuits flying around, Henyard's time in office has been nothing short of a roller coaster ride. And the latest twist in the saga: she's now suing her own village trustees. Yep, you heard that right. She's taking legal action against the very people she's supposed to be working with to run the village.
I think you should pay everybody. Is it the reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's for. You just got it.
The spark that ignited this firestorm was a chaotic village board meeting where things went completely off the rails. To picture this, Mayor Henyard tried to hold a meeting at Village Hall. So then, in true dramatic fashion, she stormed over to another meeting happening at the Park District Big Building, a meeting being run by the rest of the village trustees. And what did she get when she arrived? A full-blown chorus of boos from the crowd. Ouch.
Sometimes we get invoices, but those invoices lead to more questions, and sometimes we don't get answers to those questions. And so it's not about clickbait, it's about just making sure the right thing is.
Now, why were there two separate meetings in the first place? Well, the Illinois Attorney General's office had ruled that Village Hall wasn't big enough to legally accommodate all the residents who want to attend these meetings. So the trustees moved their meeting to the Park District building to make sure everyone could fit. But Mayor Henyard, she wasn't having it. She wanted the meeting at Village Hall, period. So she tried to hold her own session, which quickly fell apart when only two trustees showed up. You can imagine how the residents reacted to all this chaos. It's been months of political infighting, and frankly, the people of Dalton are fed up. Henyard's critics are calling her power hungry, accusing her of running the village like a one-woman show. One frustrated resident even compared her to a character from a cartoon, saying she has not only embarrassed herself, but she has embarrassed the town of Dalton. She is acting like Timmy Turner with fairy godparents, using the town's money to make foolish and selfish moves. I have lived in Dalton for 30 years and never have we been put in the spotlight like this. Please remove this child from office.
Mr. Lacey is absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts. I believe he's cooperating. And if you cooperate, you have to admit your guilt first.
And speaking of embarrassing moments, that public booing at the Park District meeting, it wasn't just a few boos, it was a full-on rejection from the community. Residents turned their backs on her, and some shouted her down as she tried to speak. Henyard, visibly frustrated, tried to regain control by claiming that the trustees were corrupt and that this was her meeting. But the crowd wasn't having it. After 7 painful minutes of trying to speak over the jeers, Henyard finally gave up and left. The tension between Henyard and the trustees has been building for a while, and it all seems to revolve around one key issue: power. Henyard has been making appointments to important village positions like police chief, village administrator, and village attorney without getting the necessary board approvals. This is a big no-no, and the trustees weren't going to let it slide. They took the issue to court, and guess what? The judge sided with the trustees. A restraining order was placed blocking Henyard's appointments and forcing her to get approval before making any more big moves.
Of court, the judge today declining to hold her in contempt, but did warn her that if she did not follow the ruling, he would.
But here's where things get even messier. Despite the judge's ruling, Henyard hasn't exactly been following the court's orders. In fact, she's been surrounding herself with the very people she's not supposed to be ball-pointing them, bringing them into their village hall, and continuing to act like she's in total control. One of the trustees even accused her of daring the court to take action, like she's inviting the legal system to step in and make a move. It's almost like she's playing a game of chicken with the court. And at this point, it's anyone's guess how it will end.
Deep debt, and that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
So how has Mayor Henyard responded to all this legal trouble? Well, in typical fashion, she's doubling down. She's filed a lawsuit to challenge the legitimacy of the board's meetings, accusing the trustees of illegally holding them at the Park District. According to Henyard, Village Hall is the rightful place for these meetings, and she wants the court to declare that any business conducted outside of Village Hall is invalid. It's a bold move, especially considering the ruling from the Attorney General about the size of Village Hall. But Henyard seems determined to maintain control.
For a year now, we've been reporting on questionable spending by a South suburban politician named Tiffany Henyard, but we only knew half the story.
So on social media, Henyard has been trying to rally support, positioning herself as the leader under attack by corrupt officials. In a cryptic post, she wrote, "I need all my black sheep to stand with me," adding, "You are not alone. If God is for us, then who can be against us?" It's clear that Henyard sees herself as a fighter battling not just the trustees, but also what she believes is a larger conspiracy against her. Whether or not the residents of Dalton agree with her is a different story. The lawsuit is just the latest chapter in a long saga of legal disputes that have rocked Dalton under Henyard's leadership. There have been allegations of corruption, financial mismanagement, and backdoor deals that have raised serious questions about how the village is being run. Federal investigators have even started poking around, serving subpoenas to officials in both Dalton and Thornton, where Henyard also holds a leadership role. It seems like every time you turn around, there's a new scandal or legal battle involving Henyard and her administration.
Wrong is wrong, and there's a time to hold people responsible and accountable for their actions.
And if you thought things couldn't get any crazier, just wait. Rumors are swirling that even more explosive revelations could be on the way. Some insiders are saying that federal authorities have been working behind the scenes, getting people close to Henyard to flip on her. And the biggest bombshell of all, Henyard's boyfriend, who was once a key ally, is reportedly cooperating with investigators. If that's true, it could spell disaster for the embattled mayor. After all, if someone that close to her is willing to talk, who knows what secrets might come out? One courtroom scene in particular has already become the stuff of legend. During a recent hearing, Henyard's boyfriend took the stand and allegedly spilled all sorts of incriminating details about the mayor's conduct. According to reports, he talked about private conversations, shady financial dealings, and even bribes that Henyard allegedly accepted from local businesses. At one point, the tension in the courtroom was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Henyard, visibly furious, reportedly interrupted the proceedings, yelling at her boyfriend and causing a scene. Witnesses described it as a complete meltdown, with the mayor losing her cool in front of everyone.
You did have a quick bag, huh? All right. I guess anything else? I get sued all the time. Y'all stop it.
This courtroom drama has only added fuel to the fire for Henyard's critics, who are now more convinced than ever that she's unfit to lead. Some are even calling for her immediate resignation, arguing that the town can't afford to have a leader who's embroiled in so much controversy. But despite the mounting pressure, Henyard has shown no signs of backing down. She continues to deny all the allegations against her, claiming that it's all part of a politically motivated attack by her opponents. She's framing herself as the victim of a smear campaign, but whether the residents of Dalton will buy that narrative remains to be seen.
Who would make a one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon? And the main thing is, what is it?
One thing is clear, the people of Dalton are fed up. The constant drama, the legal battles, and the public infighting have left the town in a state of turmoil. At recent meetings, residents have voiced their frustration loud and clear, with some even calling for an investigation into Henyard's handling of village funds. They want answers, and they want accountability. But with federal investigators now involved, it looks like the situation is far from being resolved anytime soon. And let's not forget the financial implications of all this chaos. Dalton's finances are reportedly in shambles, and a report conducted by none other than former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot revealed that the vivid spending has spiraled out of control. This mismanagement has only added to the sense of urgency among residents who fear that the village could be heading towards a financial disaster if something doesn't change soon.
Very appreciative to receive the information today. We have the best mayor ever. I've been here since 1993.
But despite everything, there are still those who find the whole situation entertaining, to say the least. One resident even joked, "Hope this keeps dragging out. She's the best clown show ever." For some, it's like watching a reality show unfold in real time, with new twists and turns every week. And with the next township meeting right around the corner, you can bet that things are only going to get crazier. So what's next for Mayor Tiffany Henyard and the village of Dalton? Will she survive the growing calls for her resignation? Or will the legal battles finally catch up with her? And what about that looming federal investigation? Will it bring new revelations that could spell the end of her political career? The residents of Dalton are watching closely, and so are we. This drama is far from over, and with every new development, the stakes keep getting higher. So what do you think? Will Tiffany Henyard manage to hold onto power despite all the controversy, or is she on her way out? And do you think the trustees are really the heroes in this story? Or is there more to the tale than meets the eye? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay tuned.